back, looking left, throwing left for Pena, catching the three, spinning to the pylon, diving. He's got it for a touchdown, Orange.
Just one of several for Kyle McCord and the team, and former SU quarterback Don McPherson on the phone. Donnie, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Gomez. How are you?
Good. And as an exciting win against a ranked team as you could expect early in the season.
It was a big win, not just a ranked opponent, but also a conference opponent. So that will put SU at the top of the conference standings, which is pretty cool.
This year more than any in the past, it's just really wide open in the ACC with the way a lot of the teams started out. And you're right. You look at it right now and right at the top.
I said this to a friend of mine about halftime at the game because it was very evident that this is a pretty good football team. And you look at the rest of the conference, and, Clemson is down with Clemson's game. Florida State clearly got beat by Georgia Tech, and Syracuse beat Georgia Tech. So, ergo, Syracuse can consider itself, part of the possibility of winning a wide open conference, and it's kind of exciting that they're in a pretty good position with the schedule as it is and the conference as it is to be in a pretty good spot to be the contender for the conference.
Now, when you watch the game, Don, obviously there's always room for improvement. In this case, if you told somebody that you lost an onside kick and had a kick blocked and had some things happen on special teams, but you still won the game, someone might be a little surprised by that. But the Orange able to do that. But clearly some work ahead on that part of their game.
Yeah, and Coach Fran Brown talked about this in his post-game press conference, that special teams is on him, and people who know college football know that head coaches usually take the special teams unit under their wing and then kind of make it their priority, because it's all the players who aren't regular starters, and they want to give guys opportunities and see who's going to work their way to a starting spot. And so the head coaches take that responsibility. So Fran Brown will be distracted by special teams. Unfortunately, there's a bye week, but you're exactly right. On both sides of the football, offensive, defensively, they look pretty good.
We're talking to former SU quarterback Don McPherson here with Gomez and company. And obviously you saw the post-game press conference from Coach Fran. And I'll play a little bit. This was a question that came up right near the end, and it had to do with going for it on fourth down. And I'll play it back for you, Donnie. I'm sure you saw it, but it was cool seeing Coach Fran all fired up the way he was.
I mean, anytime you get the ball on fourth down when you're going for it, and then you're able to stop him, because when he's going for it, he's saying, I'm tougher than you. I'm about to go for it. And then I'm saying, when we go for it, we're tougher than you. And who won the most fourth down this day? We did, yeah, because he said he wanted to fight from 2 out of 4. So that's all I was thinking about from 2 out of 4. That's why I was and you know me. So it's a big difference. When you know who I am and you come at me about toughness, like, don't do that. I took this game was very personable. And then you know that I coach with Kirby Smart and Muschamp. So why would we not be a tough physical football team? That's just what they do, and that's what we're about, and that's where I was at. And I did take that very personal. And I want to make sure everyone understands that when you play us, just be quiet. So then that way we're just going to go worry about us throughout the week. Don't give no ammo to me. You give ammo to me, I'm coming at you full tilt.
Hey, Donnie, when your coach comes out in a press conference like that, and with them's fighting words, how does that fire up the team?
It can fire up the team. It doesn't really fire up the team in the post-game press conference. And I do think, though, that the defense took personally, and I said this going into this game, took personally the criticism that they weren't tough last week and that they didn't play tough. And the defensive players need to take that personally because they need to bring that energy on the field. I will caution that a coach, especially in the second game as a head coach, shouldn't take anything personal. Going for 4th and 2, I thought were both gutsy calls and good calls, and the kind of calls that Fran Brown's going to need to make as a head coach. But he better be making them strategically and not emotionally, because that's what's going to serve him going down the road as a head coach, is when he can take his emotion out of it and start making really good, smart, strategic calls and not just necessarily emotional calls. But I do like his swagger, and I think the players will feed into that, and we'll be looking for those moments where they can use that kind of talk to to get a little spark.
Donnie, talk about Kyle McCord in the start to the season. After 2 games, he's at the top or near the top of most every passing category here, 2 games in.
You know, we knew this about Kyle McCord when he came from Ohio State. He really could throw the football. He had great weapons at Ohio State, and turns out he's got great weapons at Syracuse. You know, Pena's playing great, and Gadsden's playing great, and in the backfield he's getting production from Nixon and Allen, and so he's got lots of tools around him. The offensive line, I thought, did not get maybe all the praise they deserved for Saturday, but I thought the offensive line played very well, gave him time to throw the football. When he has weapons and he has time to throw, yes, he's the top statistically, but he can really throw the football, and he's a great, smart leader. You can just see it in his decision-making. You can see it in his reads as well as things he does with his feet to give himself time. He's a very good quarterback. I've been very impressed with him, as is everybody. It's been very clear and obvious so far this season.
And go ahead, Lisa.
Don, I was going to say, Don, hey, Coach Brown, I think sort of implied that he had mentioned to Kyle, like, I want to see a little more of like that, your childhood enthusiasm, let's call it. And so do you feel that when you hear that has sort of been part of his strategy to kind of get him to come out of his shell? Do you feel that in your, former quarterback brain, like, yeah, that childhood enthusiasm, that playground scramble, that like, you feel it, it's instinct from, somewhere deep inside?
Yeah, and I think, Lisa, it's a really good point that you bring up that Coach Brown was trying to get out of him. There was a lot of pressure on Kyle McCord. There's been so much talk that as he goes, this team goes. You heard it, I think, at halftime when he said, how's it going? And Fran Brown said, Kyle McCord, that's how it's going. He's our guy, and he's the, what makes this team tick. So here he comes. He's getting the big money. He's in his NIL age, he's getting the big money. He comes from, as people would caution me to say, the Ohio State University, the big-time program. He's got all this pressure on him. And what Fran Brown's trying to get him to do is just be a kid. Don't bring that pressure into the game. He said, be the little league football player, the little kid who's just going out there having fun, taking chances, and doing the good things that you did as a kid that made you love the game. And it's a smart strategy for a head coach to get his player into the mindset where he wants to, not thinking about, oh my God, I've got this. Here we got new coach, new stadium, all the new, the new seats in the dome, all the new things that are going on, this NIL era, all the things that are going on, how many new faces, new players. Was in the paper a few days ago. All that newness is falling on the shoulders of Kyle McCord, and Fran Brown's trying to get him to say, forget all that stuff, go out there, play football, and be a little kid.
Donnie, I know it's only 2 games in, but obviously the team playing well, and if they keep heading the way they are, they'll be ranked here soon. And again, only 2 games in, but good to see over the weekend some mentions of potential bowl possibilities for the Orange, among them the Pop-Tart Bowl. And now, have you been to the Pop-Tart Bowl, and do you get free Pop-Tarts?
I don't. The bowl situation drives me bananas, especially this time of year. It's not even September 15th. I mean, we still have to have second tax season coming up. I mean, come on, for God's sake. We're talking bowl season already. You know what? And here I am. I'll say it. They have with the 12 team playoff schedule now. They've got a shot at the playoff. They got a shot at the conference championship. And we can say all those things. It's still only September 9th. For goodness sake. Let these guys. They haven't. They're going to have a bye week this week, which is insane to have a bye week 2 weeks into the season. But I will say the importance of it is that you do get some rest. Because you go straight in college football, you go straight from training camp into the schedule, and so this is actually it's not a great time to have a bye week, especially when you're 2-0, because you want to keep the momentum going. But it is not a bad time for them to have a little bit of downtime, focus on some of those early mistakes, and build on the momentum they have. And for goodness sakes, have have a Pop-Tart if you want to have a Pop-Tart. But, you know, maybe have some Frosted Flakes and you know, get focused back on the season.
Don McPherson, Don, always great to chat. We will do it again next Monday, game week, and the next home game a week from Friday. It'll be a Friday night game against Stanford, but enjoy your week and enjoy your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Looking forward to it. Happy fall.
Yep, happy fall. Thanks, Donnie.